Chairman, I'd like to read two brief paragraphs and then ask you whether they're true or false. Last week, a team of experts commissioned by the United Nations Human Rights Council to look at human rights violations in Ukraine found that Russia had committed war crimes in Ukraine, including the use of beatings, electric shocks, and forced nudity against detained individuals. The experts have also been investigating alleged executions in Kyiv, Kharkiv, sunny regions of the Ukraine, and other places. In September, as the Ukraine successfully pushed back Russian forces, police investigators and war crimes prosecutors began investigating a recently discovered mass burial site in the city of Izium. 450 bodies were discovered at the burial site. The vast majority were civilians, including women, children, and elderly people. According to investigators, some of the bodies show signs of torture. The department has confirmed that during Russia's invasion of Ukraine, there have been multiple credible reports of Russian forces launching indiscriminate attacks in the city of Mariupol that hit a theater clearly marked to indicate it was civilian. The strike killed 300. So, the question is, we now know what is going on. The question here is, what are we going to do about it? And so I would like to ask that question in an unvarnished way. What is the administration going to suggest that we do about this, or mandate that we do about this?
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
I can't speak for the entire administration. I can't speak for the Department of Justice. I think it's a matter of public record that, however, that the United States is supplying extensive military, security, and humanitarian assistance to Ukraine as the courageous people of that country fight for their freedom and for the rule of law. On the law enforcement side, our War Crimes Accountability Team calls on the expertise of men and women throughout the Justice Department, and we work with other agencies, including the State Department and Homeland Security. We are providing extensive assistance to the Office of the Prosecutor General in Kyiv. Just 1 week ago yesterday, the Prosecutor General of Ukraine, Andriy Kostin, was here in Washington. I think the Chairman mentioned he met with him. And while he was here, he signed a memorandum of understanding with Attorney General Merrick Garland that will supercharge our already robust cooperation with Ukrainian authorities, and that's a two-way street. We assist them in their work, and they are assisting us in our own investigations of potential war crimes where we may have jurisdiction under federal law. But it's important, again, that Russians in the field and in Moscow see that the Department of Justice and the rest of the U.S. government stand solidly beside our partners in Ukraine, including on the law enforcement side. We will, as I mentioned, carry out the Attorney General's charge to us to be relentless.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to hear directly from the White House what is going to be done about this. I've read the materials, and if this country doesn't stand up for this kind of behavior, against this kind of behavior, we really should be ashamed of ourselves. So I'd like to ask for this committee to really, in writing, provide the President with a letter that expresses those feelings more eloquently than I can do right now.
I agree with you, Senator, and if you would like to initiate that letter, let's work together, put it together.
Fine, I'd be happy to.
Okay,
Thank you.
Senator Cornyn?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I certainly join my